Today is March 3rd, 2025. Yesterday on the 2nd, I was in Fairlawn. And if you want some more of the people that work for the King from Texas, there's quite a few up there. Okay? A lot of Texas plates. Some Florida too. Okay? That's where last summer I went up there and walked through the mall. There was Muslim women. They were mumbling as I walked by that we didn't think it's funny what they called the king. Well, Officer Mark called him a fucking Iraqi terrorist. Okay? Seriously. Okay. You're selling women and children for sex slaves and to be murdered. That makes you a terrorist. Okay? I go to Bob Evans to meet with my brother. Okay, well, over the summer, too, there was more people talking about the king, and then there was one of the, where they made up the Judge Pete from Ravenna. The long white beard, long white hair. One of them was wearing the disguises. You could tell he wasn't old by the way it was built and walking. Turned around and looked at me. Told my brother, I said, you seen him in there? Yeah, I seen him turn around and look at us. I said, some of the young girls in the food court, too, where the people down where I live were harassing me. The cartels up here. Okay? Well, today, or yesterday, on the 2nd, I was in Bob Evans in Fairlawn. I go to use the bathroom, and there are some guys with black hair, and they're young, dark eyes. Table. The king said if you weren't gonna stay alone, no one's to care about you. You know why they want you to stay alone? They want to sell you. Think I'm stupid? Huh? You think I'm stupid? You thought that FBI agent John was stupid too. I'm as stupid as you people. Okay, I go to use the bathroom. Over by the register, there's a group of kids saying stuff as I walk by. Then I go get my card. I bought my brother a pie to take home to his grandson. Getting some banana bread. I'm waiting in line. As if they turn around and look at me. Agent John was fooling us. He's the one that said no one was to care about her. If she was gonna be weird with herself, the shower's in the other room. That, he told the cops if he actually pulled the case in the first of it, that he knew the reason that agent said he was so mean to you on the phone because he wanted to make sure you weren't part of the people defrauding him. He knew everything was dropped and photoshopped. He was going to go after him. And he couldn't believe they would even try something like this. And when they tried to say something about their scam, they couldn't believe they even tried it. And that's why they were laughing so hard when they said it. They sounded like crazy fools. Seriously. Talking about somebody I didn't even know who they were and all kinds of crazy crap. Seriously. Okay. Now, I want you to think about this. And they're over there running their mouth. I keep looking back over there staring at me. Bob Evans has cameras. Just let you know. Okay? Oh, and where I tell you they have everything bugged. Well, trying to distress from everything. Sit and watch stupid little clips of monkeys being dressed as humans. It's like, why don't you just get them big enough and then release them back in the wild? They're monkeys. Let them be monkeys and grow up to be monkeys and have baby monkeys. But it's cheap entertainment, and then they started showing weddings. Well, I'm going to be getting married. And one was a Turkish wedding. Just watching what they did. Going through looking at the different gowns. Okay? Just something to watch. We watched her watching those movies of those weddings. I hope she realizes what's going on. What? They're selling people. You got a little mail order bride. You're also selling people for organs. Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're selling people for sex slaves and being murdered. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Fucking bastards. See, that agent told the cops he was going to be going after him. He couldn't believe they'd even try such a scam with him. You gotta think, we're talking about a federal police officer, FBI. A lot of them are profilers. What do they do for a living? Those are the ones that hunt serial killers, child molesters, rapists, human traffickers. That's what they do. And these morons, went into an FBI office, said they were cyber stalking on their own a victim. That's a federal crime. They said they had sodium pentothal reports, where the date rape amnesia drugs. Like the police said it wasn't even funny. You said you had that. Can't even get it. If you actually look it up, it's a lethal outlaw drug. Not even allowed to have it in the country. Was an anesthetic they used in surgeries. Became so dangerous, they outlawed it. Shuts down your airways. So they basically said they were using a drug almost as bad as anthrax on me to make me lie. Researcher lies. So you go in and you tell a federal agent you are using a lethal outlaw drug on a victim. And you're bringing it into the United States. Cartel hired you to drug, beat, and rape a woman. And the federal cop didn't arrest you? Why? Why there was the cartel, the occult for hiring you? Maybe there was a lot bigger fishes involved in this than you little guppies. See, I know a retired CIA agent. She made a comment, I hate FBI agents. They'll let the locals get away with horrible crimes while they go after the big drug dealers. Gee, and so what did he have to do? Tell people he didn't care about me and feed me back to him? Open a case with statements. Court order for protected custody. Threat of life, attempt of life. Have the police, the sheriffs, all law enforcement watch me record this. With a court order. Stands up in court without me. And gee, what'd you do? You didn't think you were stoppable. So you showed up and said who you worked for, what you were doing here, who you're associated to. Then what happened to you? And your associates? How many thousands went to jail? How many hundreds of lives were saved? Gee, because we're in January of this year. I was in Speedway on Mill Branch Road in North Canton. A cartel girl came in and said, she was on the phone, she's like, why don't they give her money? It's not like any of us need it. We all know Michelle did this. Had everybody show up, say who they work for, what they were doing here. So they go down and arrest her father so she could take over the drug cartel. This was all for Michelle to take over. So who's telling them what to do? Michelle. Michelle's running it. That's why they work for her. She runs a cartel. Cartels make $12 billion to $40 billion a year selling people. So does she need my $5,000? She pays more for her purse. She's as rich as those famous singers. Just hundreds and hundreds of people working for her. Think about that. She was a cartel leader's daughter. Think of drug cartels. How mega rich they are. Yeah. Now start thinking about it. Now, I want you to think about this. Also back in Alliance just a week or two ago, I was in there. Some investigators came in laughing. It is what's going on. That agent went around telling Honor, we're calling the FBI hotline before I spoke to her. Told everybody he didn't care about her. Didn't care what happened to her. Then he opened a case with statements. And they thought everyone laughed. And he got him on tape saying stuff. He got him. He fooled them. And they were laughing. I know he did. Let's see, the Buffalo, New York that was here. They got a big human trafficking group out of their jail. Michigan, all kinds of different drug cartels. People running cyber stalking scams. Jail. California, a bunch of drug dealers. They've got stuff out of Texas. They got Judge Peter out of Florida. They found some weirdo in Tennessee with 3 kids. They got a bunch of other drug dealers. Saved hundreds of lives. So who did Agent John really go after? He just had to sacrifice his informant. My money, John. You're done playing with the damn fools. See, these people are so ignorant. They have the scams. It's like a hurricane of chaos. You got the drugs and told to sale, photoshopping and washing yourself in the shower, which you told the police you already knew was drugged and photoshopped, you could tell. You even told them it's documented by the police. Pull the first of the case. Okay? That's why the police didn't arrest you for being dirty. There was some really big people involved you took down. So, idiot people. Other chaos storms for Michelle to get everything. She's a billionaire. You want a serial killer and a child molester to get everything? What's wrong with you? It's a billionaire. Think about that. It sells people for sex slaves and to be murdered. She sells people and drugs. Okay. Then we got Melissa's Mean Games at Pretend, and like they said down in Carrollton, Melissa could go to jail for obstruction to justice. Oh, so could all these people. Racketeering, human trafficking, rape, kidnapping, kitty porn on my grandkids going potty, sextortion, cyberstalking, assault with a deadly weapon. Oh, so many life sentences. Okay, then we have, what are the other scams? There's like 3 or 4. We got Melissa's Mean Games and Pretend, already debunked. Have her telling the kids to lie, and the kids staying in a legally bugged house. They made everything up. They were games of pretend. Like they said in Carrollton, we had the police look it up. They were taped saying they made everything up. Oh, and these people were also taped. They framed me. They drugged me and told me to say it before. They photoshopped that shower scene in the other room to make me look weird. They made fun of everyone. They made fun of FBI agent John for falling for it. He never fell for it. It's just a better poker player than you. They had these people. What else? My whole family defended me, not knowing about this. These people that they made everything up on me. Oh, let's see. Then the scam of paying off a dirty doctor to write up. She was insane. Okay, we're going to go through this again, and it's right on Google. Insanity is not curable. It's like incompetency. You have to have a competency hearing to prove you're insane. You get a guardian, social worker, and you're put on disability. Your brain's damaged. It's like even the special needs people, where they're born special needs, develop disabilities. I take care of people like that. They have to have a competency hearing. Court order guardian, social worker, disability. State takes care of them. They cannot, sign any legal documents. The guardian has to sign above them. I couldn't even sign my divorce papers. Like people said, we didn't even think about it. She couldn't have. Couldn't sold Lennox, couldn't signed off the house in Ravenna, couldn't bought the house in Ravenna, couldn't buy a car, couldn't have a checking account, couldn't have a credit card. I'm a notary. I can notarize documents that stand up in court. Had to pass an FBI background check. Now, you got to think of that scenario too. HIPAA violations, 1 to 5 years, if they ever speak about you without your permission. $250,000 fine, and then you can sue them up for $1.5 million in competency. Make me a rich woman, give me a name. I would own them. And then you're saying they were in it with the cult. The cult paid them off. That's fraud. You write up something that's not true about somebody, and the person's completely fine. That's fraud. Like they said about a week ago, Bob Evans, and then they said it, Pennies, they could never use that. Paying off a dirty doctor, there was no competency hearing. It takes a judge. Can't just pay off a dirty doctor. The scenario of that you could pay off a doctor to write that up about somebody, and you could just destroy him. You could destroy Trump, Elon Musk, any rich person in the world. Think about that. We have laws. Cartels and a cult are like people with schizophrenia. They live within their own society and rules. And they don't think laws pertain to them. They're erratic, irrational behavior. I would own that doctor. Make me a rich woman. Give me a name. The cops were laughing. What was the response? Give me a name. Give me a name, you'll make me rich. They were laughing about it. Well, they think it's funny too. They'll show up laughing. She told them to kiss her government-protected, government immunity informant ass. Okay? Let's see. So that's already been debunked. Michelle getting everything, she can get nothing. And she's already a billionaire. You're stupid. Melissa's mean games of pretend, already debunked. Oh, my whole family defended me, so your drugs and told her to say it. Debunked. Nobody knew of the shower scene in the other room or the body cameras. They did know I had bruises, throwing up, and almost passing out, but they did not know someone was taping in the bathroom, watching me shower, stalking me, and photoshopped of me washing in the shower in the other room. That's why nobody knew about it. Done by the drug cartel. And they already confessed. Repeatedly. Crackheads. Debunked. Now, where are these idiot people? Oh, they want to say something to her about their scam. Give me a name, first and last. There's personal injury attorneys. I had bruises all over me, so severely infected, I could hardly go to the bathroom. Throwing up, lost 18 pounds before I called the FBI, and another 70 afterwards. Was human trafficked. I have a dent in my head. I was raped and tortured. You want to say you were harming me? First and last name. I will make it public. You'll be lucky I don't call no screws. These are the names of the people that are saying they were cyber stalking me with button cameras, hired by an occult. My ex-husband that fled the country so he wouldn't go to jail. Hmm? That have said they even exploited my grandchildren and sold them on porn sites, kiddie porn. I'll make sure my kids sue you for taping them and their kids in the bathroom and selling them on porn sites for weirdos. Okay? You're, like they said, she would own those people. Give me names. I will own you. And I will make sure law enforcement gets you. Because I'll make it as public, where you guys made all this public, to the riffraff and all these low-educated people. I'll make sure that the big bad press has it. And I will get an attorney. And like my boss's sister, that's a sitting judge, the day you prove you were in my home before the police are to arrest you, it's illegal. It's a felony invasion of privacy. Dave hired Pete on his own. He hired the drug cartel. Where they lie, oh, there was a police officer in our home before. No, there wasn't. I went to the Portage County Sheriff's. They didn't know anything about it. Otherwise, there's police abuse attorneys. Give me a name, first and last. One of the road cops are in it with drug cartel, drug beating, raping people, breaking constitutional rights. The law is police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements in a court order. Like Officer Reinhardt Louisville, even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home before. An agent had agreed to protect you and have statements of threat of life from everyone that lived in that home, or they'd go to jail. Give me a name. You had to have a court order too. Give me a name. First and last. First and last. And I'll make sure my whole family owns you. And I'll make sure that it is as public as it can be that these people are part of the drug cartel running drug scams on their home. So when everyone knows you and they know what you and your group are doing, that you're breaking in, setting up button cameras, stalking people, you're breaking in, taping little kids going to the bathroom, selling them on porn sites, you're taping people naked, showering, and trying stupid scams of photoshopping, washing yourself in another room in your own drug cartel tapes. And then you're having drug cartel guys going in lace drinks when people out of the room. They don't know they're there, or stabbing with date rape drugs, beating, raping the poor victim under amnesia drugs, and tell them, drug them up and tell them to say stuff. And human trafficking. Oh, I'll make your crimes very public. And I will own you. I've almost been murdered several times. If you think you're going to get fear out of me, I have been around people that make your breath go cold, leaving your body, and you shiver from fear. Do you think your little idle threats scare me at this point? Give me a name, because I kind of know people that know people. And how long you'll go to jail for this? Brenda, people used to even preach, ministers. God puts people in your pathway for a reason. My one boss is his sister's a sitting judge. The place that work for, talked to him there too. Nothing could ever be used before the FBI case. They can't do any of it. Friend from the prosecutor's office, 30 seconds to fraud scheme. Do you not think that agent didn't know it was a fraud scheme? I think the biggest mistake they did it in your home. It's the right to privacy. And where they laugh at you, they photoshopped a shower scene of you washing in the other room. They probably did is clicking and pasting. And we had all the signs of being drug, being raped. You never seen or talked to anybody. They were probably drugging you up and telling you to say stuff and being raped because you had all the signs and had been seen by the doctor for all the signs of being drug, being raped. You want to say you were having me raped and human trafficked? I'll own you. It's called racketeering, cyber stalking, sextortion, kidnapping, attempted murder, obstruction to justice. Oh, so many more charges. Oh, like they said, if those people actually would try anything with her, she would own them. Well, they would be liable for every injury I had. Then my family could sue you. Give me names, first and last. Make Karen a millionaire. That's why we're 6 years into it and it's only just harassment now. You're like annoying gnats. Just run around slandering me. You know, I would never even leave my house to harass somebody. These people go out in the cold, ice, rain, snow. You know, for determined little boogers, at least that. They go out all night long, stand in the cold, freezing weather. I wouldn't go on a warm summer day. Do you realize how mentally ill you all look? See, Michelle's trying to prove to everybody she's drug lord over this area. She can have anybody drug beat and raped. She just has to ask those guys. She can cyber stalk anybody, run drug scams on and sell anybody. Psycho. There's personal injuries. Lawyers, I will own you. They've already told them she would own them. First and last names. Agent John, are you done playing with the damn fools? You do need to get the U.S. Marshals up to Fairlawn. You need to clean up that Texas group. The ones from Florida. I've seen a lot of Florida plates. It's fucking March. A lot of them. Different kind of vehicles driving around. There's a lot of Texas up in Fairlawn now. You need to clean that area up. You need to clean up Michelle's group. You want a big drug cartel leader? Take Michelle down. Like where I go up into Akron, Hartville. We all know Karensville is still open. We all know it's part of the nationwide human trafficking scam. That is one of the FBI's mega cases. So, do you think Agent John doesn't want a promotion? Playing with your damn fools. All you gotta do is sacrifice me. My money, honey. Needed to help my family. I earned it 100 times over. If I had known I was gonna face all this, I would have told you to hide me. And you better support me. Yeah. Not comes with no money. And you offer the informant thing, you already told, confessed you told on me, made fun of me. And then you want to think about the fucked up Vegas. And they are fucked up, the other scam. And you didn't know they were scamming you because you're not stupid, right? Because if somebody dies in January, come July or August, somebody makes a baby lie on somebody, does it have anything to do with what happened in January? No. No. And where I had the 4 to 6, I had 6 to 10 surgeries over 2.5 years. My muscles locked up. Went to a bunch of crackpots, falsely diagnosed me, gave me wrong meds. My whole body swelled up to the point my knees were popping out of place. I would have to have orthopedic doctors drain them. Gave me canes and braces. Had many heart attacks, seizures. Thyroid, adrenal gland shut down. They were lying so bad they told me I had level 2 pituitary tumors, needed brain surgery. Wanted to remove part of a healthy brain. Went to all my family physicians. They told me they were known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping off, making them sick, getting kickbacks from drug companies, and wanting to do unnecessary procedures to get attorneys sue them, turn them over state for them to pull their license, and they documented it as fraud. Whereas in Altman Family Physicians, some guy was outside the room. I looked it up. They did document it was all those doctors. They also documented it as fraud. And for years, I'd go in, none of that stuff was wrong with you. The only thing was wrong with you is your muscles locked up. Those doctors were just ripping you off. They told Officer Mark and the police in 2018 the same thing. Medication errors, medical malpractice, and fraud. It's documented. Then proven. And Dr. Eli agreed, got me on fentanyl patches. Started in November of 2002. By April, I'm almost well. I was a size 24 in November of 2002. By April, I'm 16. I'm almost well. May 3rd, 2003, Brian had to show up. We're all at home. Halville ran a stop sign into a semi. Killed him and Tyler both. I finished getting well in July. Okay? Come November 2003, my sister Linda's married to Tim, Strange's son. And she was out one day, seen him with Katie, so she started following him. She didn't have enough courage to confront him, so we all stayed out of it. But she would follow him. Came up to me and said, follow him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry, be careful. I'm like, great, I'm going to get screamed at. No, he planned my death, took my kid and pushed him to suicide. Within a few days. Made up that baby lie. Now, it's November 2003. Their kid died in May. Did it have anything to do with them? No. Did it affect them? No. Nothing. Not even connected. It's a half a year later. It took me 9 months to get well. So, like they said, September 18th, 24, 8:30 in the morning, my car's bugged. That agent needs to get his facts straight. Some medication or made her sick before. Why did they wait 15 years? Well, Stranger ordered this in 03 for her to be killed when he thought she was following Tim and Katie. When I went and talked to them, they told me. So why were the Vegas in there? Because Strange ordered it in 03. Because he thought I was following Tim and Katie. They were to try to have her killed, and if it didn't work, they were to have her destroyed. Nobody was to say or do anything until Dave said he wanted a divorce. It took him 15 years to say it. They planned this for 15 years before they did it. Now, you gotta think, why would they be in your office? I had nothing to do with their kid's death. It's 15 years later. See, I was wondering, what was it, a mental snap? Something triggered them to go into a killing spree? Because, I was talking to my neighbor, Becky. She's like, Karen, that's insanity. You had nothing to do with that kid's death. Just because somebody made up a mean lie on you. Why would they hate you? Let alone, why would they have anybody harm you years later? It makes no sense. It's insanity. It is insanity. Because cults and cartels are like people with schizophrenia. They're erratic, irrational. They don't think laws pertain to them. So, when they're in there with their little crocodile tears, how did you not bitch slap them? And say, who do you think you're scamming? She had nothing to do with your kid's death. It's been 15 years. And just because somebody made up a mean lie on her? You think I'm stupid? Yeah, they did. They thought you were really stupid. Or they wouldn't have tried to pull this with you. That's why they made a public fool out of you June 7th, 23, Lighthouse Tabernacle. They fooled you. Publicly mocked you. I'm surprised you didn't bitch slap them all. But there were so many bigger fish in the sea. Heads of cartels were involved. And God tricked them all. So, Agent John, since we all know you didn't fall for the photoshopping and washing and the drug confessions, because this is a drug cartel scam. It's documented, verified by the police. I was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in my home before. You didn't fall for a drug scam, right? From the drug cartel, not even a little bit. You didn't even fall for the crocodile tears because somebody calling me a mean name 6 months later had nothing to do with them. Why would they care? See, integrity is always doing the right thing. If they had integrity, they would have looked at Strange and said, you're not involving us in this. I don't know what your beef is with Karen, but you're not involving us. And you're definitely not using our family's tragedy. But that takes integrity. To use their family tragedy, I went out to eat with this one man that lost his son when he was small. He said, I find those people disgusting. He said, I couldn't imagine using my dead son's name and his memory to hurt anyone. They are disgusting. Evil animals using their family's tragedy to kill people and use it as a pathetic excuse. See, there for a while I thought maybe it was a mental snap. No, it was premeditated murder over 15 years. Where my son Josh told me, Mom, I swear they kill people here. People have weird accidents. They die for weird reasons. They do kill people there. They did it in front of people this time. Now I want you to think about that. Did he know they were pulling his leg and bullshitting him? Oh, yeah. Because why would they care that a minister called me a faker? And then it takes them long to believe it. Like in a criminal attorney, you can't fake that shit. So, you didn't fall for the crocodile tears because it had nothing to do with their kid's death. Nothing. So, since I had nothing to do with their kid's death, and somebody just calls me a mean word 6 months later, you knew they were bullshitting you, right? So, do I want to hear about them? No, you know they showed up a couple of years ago. I had a first date. They showed up at a winery, ordered alcoholic drinks, toasted, smirked at me and walked out. People were complaining. They showed videos of those idiots toasting. They got away with this. They should be in jail for this. I was at this one place, and they mentioned their names. That's the one that Vegas had drugged and raped. Drug beat and raped. Nobody thought it was funny when they all found out it was a medication error. It made her sick before. No one's to say anything. Her ex-husband's a scum and let him do it to her. Trying to blame him. He is scum. And you didn't look at them as vile, evil predators, the people you hunt, you were trained to. You knew they would bullshit you. You knew about the medical malpractice because it was documented and proven. You knew about the other lady using my insurance because of the insurance fraud reports. And you knew through a scam that it was no doctor of mine in there. Them paying somebody to commit fraud. They were in the occult's pocket. That's why it made no sense. I just figured it was some other that other lady that used my insurance bill. They were just defrauding you because they thought you were stupid. I want you to think of that. You can't say something that's not curable. And the person's fine, it's automatic fraud. Automatic fraud. No competency hearing. You're just saying, like they said, a lady said, they're all going to go to jail for that one. Saying they paid off a dirty doctor to write something up like that. It's not curable. It's like saying that I had level 2 brain tumors and there was nothing wrong with my brain. See, the police were afraid that the call paid them off to kill me. And another doctor told on them. That's what saved my life. Now they're saying they actually had those doctors in their pocket. You don't realize what you're confessing to. Where those other ones could just yell, oh, it was negligence. Now you're saying it's just premeditated attempted murder. And no doctor of yours could talk to on the call, nor could they speak of you to them. There's HIPAA. Start thinking about laws rationally. See, that's where I went through the laws one time. I went up and worked in Uniontown. Some people were outside where I was working. I was in a front room. I could hear them. We didn't think about it. And all the laws, they couldn't do any of these. Nope. I would own them first and last name. HIPAA violation, $1.5 million compensation. 1 to 5 years, $250,000 fine. Make Karen a rich woman, first and last name. There's no competency hearing. It's never found insane. I don't have a guardian. I don't have a social worker. I'm not on disability. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this. I'm tired of playing with their little fraud scheme. As my friend from the prosecutor's office, is a big fraud scheme. No jail, a long time for that. Racketeering is 20 years alone.